please. I know you in love with my steez. Tell them why, you freeze as soon as I step on the scene. This life, it come with a fee. Sometimes the price is jealousy, and I think you wanna be me. You wanna be me. Mic check 1 2 1 2. What's going on, y'all? It's your girl Bree Style, and I am back. Yes, it's been a minute, but this is another episode of In the Booth with Bree Style. This is episode 10. We're gonna call this one "Wanna Be Better." All right, so if you're not familiar with the podcast, I hop on here every once in a while and just inform y'all about my journey on becoming a rap superstar. I started about almost 2 years ago now, which is crazy to say, but it's been an incredible journey, and I've learned so much, like not just about the music industry, but about myself. Like, I think that's probably been the most rewarding aspect of the whole journey to this point. And it, has heavily influenced today's episode. Again, we're calling it "Wanna Be Better." I have a new single out. It's called "Wanna Be," produced by Sean Moore. Shout out to 11th Grade Music. But it's pretty vulnerable in a very fly way. It's kind of spicy too. But on this journey of mine, one thing, or like a major theme that I'm noticing, is that people don't like or are uncomfortable with sudden bursts of confidence. If you wake up one day and you're like, "I'm the shit," like that's gonna bother a lot of people. You know what I mean? And so that's pretty much what becoming a rapper is. So I had to get really comfortable with that idea of people being uncomfortable with me. Not that I wasn't before, but once you start being vocal, like I said, about, how you feel about yourself, especially if it's in a good way, it's going to disturb the insecure. Like, they're going to be very disturbed. And so I've been dealing with that in my personal life behind the scenes. And it's frustrating, no doubt. Like, it's frustrating, no doubt, because it can come in different forms. You know what I mean? Like, some people, you can tell they're jealous of you from the moment that they meet you. Some people, it comes out in layers over years, and time. And, what you might disregard before, once they've truly played their hand, you can go back and look at it and say, the signs were there, I just didn't peep. You know what I mean? And that's frustrating. But with everything in my life, man, I thank God for the experiences and for the, I want to say initiative, but that's not really the right word. I would probably say just to be able to, or have the confidence to be able to sit and talk about it, because that's the only way that you're able to really heal. And so, I've worked through it in my own personal life, but being an artist now, it came out in song. And so I wanted to, just talk about it a little bit, for anybody who's on the same journey, or maybe you're just on your journey of life and you come across these different experiences and you can relate. This is a place, a safe space for us to chop it up. So the first thing I want to really talk about, I guess, is the fact that jealousy is a human emotion. Like, people get jealous. It's human nature. I think, there are situations where somebody has what you want. It may be a person, you know what I'm saying? Like, you've been plotting on somebody for a little minute and they're still in that relationship. You're jealous of that other person because you feel like you could step in and do a better job or what have you. Somebody might have, a better paying job, a nicer car. They might be more well educated. They might be in better physical shape, in your opinion. And you might, be jealous of that. It's nothing, I think, that is unnatural about looking at what someone else has and either admiring that thing or, wishing that you had it. Obviously coveting is a sin, but I think it's a natural human thing. I think the issue comes into play when you don't handle that emotion well, right? Just like anger is a normal human emotion. We all experience it. We've all felt it. We all know what types of things trigger our anger. But what you do with that emotion can change your life significantly, right? So if I get angry and I go out and I go shoot somebody, my life has changed forever. But I could also get angry and just go out and go for a run
or I can go out and address whoever or whatever the situation is that has me angry. I talk to a therapist, whatever. There are ways to deal with emotions, and just like any other emotion, there are ways to deal with your jealousy. And I think it takes an extremely honest person, an extremely secure person to deal with that emotion. Um, but once again, if you're getting to the point where I can tell that you're jealous, or another human being can tell that you're jealous, you're probably not doing a good job. You know what I mean? So, but that's the other thing about about jealousy, man, is that it's an emotion that people aren't really quite comfortable talking about. You know what I mean? Like we've all experienced different things. We've all experienced joy. We've all experienced grief. You know, and for some reason, all of those things get treated a little differently than jealousy does, because jealousy comes with such a negative connotation. You know what I mean? And sometimes I think it's unfair, but once again, it's all about how you deal with said emotions. Um, and you know, in my experiences, the jealousy will pop up in a couple different ways. Like I've not mastered it, but I've started to, you know, be able to tell the signs a little bit earlier than I used to. First, some people would just come out and say, I've always been jealous of you, or I'm jealous of you because you have boom, boom, boom. Like it might come across, or they might present it as a joke, or, you know, they might, you know, sprinkle it in the conversation and you might, you know, gloss over it, but it's still there. The seeds are still there. And once again, it's how they react and how they respond to those things. But I've had that happen to me before. I have had people literally say to my face straight up, I'm jealous of you, or I've always been jealous of you. And it's a strange feeling. I'm not going to lie. Definitely a strange feeling. And so another way that jealousy has presented itself to me is just random out of pocket comparisons. Like I'll be doing something, you know what I'm saying, and I'll present it to somebody. Let's say, you know, I make a song. Since I'm a rapper, that's what we doing. I make a song and, you know, I share it with somebody. And they'll be like, you know, if they're an artist too, oh, this is cool, but it's not like my song. You know, my song is a hit. You know what I'm saying? I've had people tell me that to my face, and I'm like, I didn't ask you about your song. I've already expressed my, um, not fandom, but I would say I've expressed my support for you to the point where I'm comfortable now coming with my own creation to you and saying, hey, what do you think of this? I'm looking for some support or some feedback or something. And you get hit with random comparisons. And that is one thing that I've started to come familiar with as a sign of jealousy, um, because it's just unnecessary. You know what I mean? A person who's secure in their own would never feel the need to step on your moment, really, especially when it's supposed to be about you. And so that's kind of been something that I've struggled with, or, you know, having that revealed to me over time from people that I care about is tough. It's tough to deal with, I'm not going to lie. But, you know, we move. You know what I'm saying? All I can do is take the lesson, see the relationship for what it is or was, and, you know, keep it moving. So, yeah, some people will just tell you straight up. Some people will, you know, pass it off as a joke in comparison between yourself and their self. Um, some people will disguise it as help or support. Some people will, and this is a tricky one, some people will tell you that they're going to help you or support you, and then because they know that that's the thing to do, that they should be doing, and then they'll either drag their feet to that help or support when they know that you need it by a certain date. I've had that happen to me several times. Like, oh, Bree, you should do this, 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 and this. Something that they suggest, probably, like something that wasn't even my idea. I didn't ask for this. But they'll say, hey, you should do X, Y, and Z. I'll help you do X and Y. And I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I need Z done by next Wednesday. And, you know, you hit them up Monday or Tuesday, like, yo, you still good on Z? And they're like, yeah, I got you. Yeah, it's no problem. I got you. Don't even trip. It's all love. You know, and then Tuesday come around, you hitting them again like, yo, I kind of needed that Z. What's up with that Z? And you might not even hear from them. You know, you needed it by Wednesday, and that's just, and then, you know, Wednesday will pass and they'll be like, oh, my bad. I really wanted to help you do X, Y, and Z, but, X, whatever happened and I couldn't do it. And I'm a big, 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 big proponent of doing what you say you're going to do. If you say you're going to do this, do it. You know what I'm saying? That's a character type thing. People being true to your word is a sign of character. And so one thing I've had to deal with, especially, man, for me, it's come from people often older than me, or, senior in some sense, more experienced, more seasoned in a certain aspect, or just older than me. And once again, that's that insecurity, man, of here's this person who has a shot of doing what I probably couldn't have accomplished at that age. And so while I do have the seniority and the expertise that they probably need to get to that next level, I can't give it to them because that would stir up the anxiety, and the insecurities in myself. You know what I mean? I should have been doing that, or that should be me, pretty much is what it is, jealousy. And it sucks, but, that's one of the things that I've had to encounter, I've had to deal with, I've had to maneuver around, and, figure out how to move forward from there. So yeah, man, jealousy, it could present itself in several different ways. And, how I deal with it, several different ways. One, I talk to a therapist, you know what I mean? Talk to a therapist, talk to my true friends about it. You know what I mean? I try to be as honest as possible so that I can make sure I'm seeing things from all angles. That's something that really, really matters to me as a human being. It's like not being one-track minded, you know what I mean? Seeing everybody's perspective, telling the truth about what actually happened. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people go to therapy and lie to their therapist, or after these relationships have ended, they'll get on the internet and lie about what actually happened so that they can come out looking like, the good guy, so to speak. But, there's no growth in that. All you're doing is, giving yourself the runaround, which is crazy because, these relationships matter. But, yeah, I talked through it. I talked through it with my friends, my family. And I ultimately, depending on the severity of the situation, I have to remove myself from, their life, or, that relationship has to come to an end. For me, where I'm going, where I've been, really. I mean, I got on a Hot 107.9 shirt right now. I just got back from the Super Bowl in February. Like, I've lived an incredible life. Thank God. Like, thank God. Thank God. But, like, I know some people look at me and they're like, man, either she don't deserve that or that should be me. And I know that. Like, I know that. I'm comfortable with that. Like, people don't know what I'm dealing with behind the scenes that has afforded me those opportunities. People don't know what I had to go through to get here, literally. And, that goes back into my song, Wannabe. The lyrics go, you want to copy this without sacrificing what got me here. It's like, man, you can have this life that I live that you think is so perfect, but you don't know what's in that bag. You know what I mean? Word to Ludacris. What in the world is in that bag? What you got in that bag? People don't know. They only see what I put on Instagram because that's my business. What I share is my business. But, the opportunities when I get to sit down and talk about my experiences, man, I be going through it. Like, I be going through it. So when people, I keep relating it back to music, man. Rick Ross and CeeLo Green, honestly. Tears of Joy, man. When people want to be me, why? Why? I simply would never trade the problems that I have for someone else's, even though maybe somebody has it easier. But my path is my path. My experiences are my experiences, and they inform me on where I'm going. You know what I mean? I have to go through certain things to ultimately land where I want to. And so, yeah, man, that's kind of some of the things that I've been dealing with. Like I said, rap is a very interesting thing to hop off the porch and do. You know what I mean? Like, I started coming into my own, and I woke up one day and was like, man, I kind of carry myself with the swagger of a rapper. And, when it was time to start doing that, it all just felt really naturally. And I know for a fact that made some people uncomfortable, and that's okay. It made me uncomfortable. You think I just wanted to start rapping out of nowhere? I would have started a long time ago if I knew it was what I was supposed to be doing. But I'm never afraid to grow. I'm never afraid to grow. I'm never afraid to separate myself from individuals to grow. I don't care who it is. I don't care who it is. There's nobody that's gonna stand between me and my destiny. That's just, I'm willing to die about that. And that alone makes people uncomfortable. So those are just people that I just maneuver around. You know what I mean? So, but yeah, I don't want to chit chat too long, man. This has been episode 10 of In the Booth with Bree Style. Want to be better, and I do encourage you to be better. You know what I mean? And you can start by going out and streaming my new single, Wannabe, man, where I'm talking about some real things, man. Hopefully you can relate. It's fly, you know, it's real. As everything I feel like I put out is. But thank y'all so much for listening. Thank y'all so much for watching. Make sure you follow me, especially on Instagram and on YouTube. Please subscribe if you're watching this on YouTube. I can't stress the importance of the platform as the streaming landscape just changes every day. Every day is a change, and it's really annoying for an independent artist, but YouTube is consistently giving us a chance to win, and I appreciate that. So if you would subscribe, tell a friend to subscribe, share this video, I would really, really appreciate it. Until next time, freestyle.
Please, I know you in love with my steez. Tell them why I breathe. You freeze as soon as I step on the scene. This life, it come with a fee. Sometimes the price is jealousy, and I think you wanna be me. You wanna be me.